Sorry, punters, just a little intermission there, and we're going to continue on. So you were saying you also you looked at some of Snowy's?
Well, I think I might have had a chat to him at the Betfair Great Debate Night. That was a great night, and you know, I had a chat to Vince. I met Vince for the first time, and Mark Lambourne and Gordo. Last I remember with Gordo, I was having tequila shots at 2 AM and Gordo, but it's good because Gordo bets like I want to bet. Gordo's like he targets the morals, you know. I want to bet like one horse a race. I want to back hits a moral. I'm backing it, and so everyone does everything differently. But I like backing. You like backing sort of covering more bases. I like covering less. You know, it's just everyone does something differently. You know, so yeah, so that was good. But no, Snowy. I remember Snowy. I said there, or I saw him say something. He before he does the map, he looks at where they are in their preparations and what race they're coming out of. Yeah. So that's what I say. That's what I said. Put them in what you said. Put them in barrier order. Look at where they are in their preparations and what sort of race they come out of, and then do your map. Yeah. So because the fitness levels and the intent from the stables and the things like that, so varies obviously where they are in their preps. Yeah. So I've done that. So yeah. So putting all that together. So I've just been doing that over the last month, trying to get that right, and it seems whether hopefully the variants have to turn around at some stage, but things have been a bit better the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think the more you do that, DK, it gets more and more efficient, and your instinct starts to take over. You can start, particularly if you know the horses really well, you can do the maths quite quickly. If you've got that process that you've repeated over and over again, and things like, you know, where they are in their preps, different trainer-jockey combinations, you know, like a horse that has got some toe, but if it's being ridden by Dwayne Dunn, it'll probably be in a different position than if it's ridden by Mark Zara.
You know,
or Bo Mertens, as opposed to who's another really, Jamie Mott. Who's got really
Linda Meach in the country. You know, Linda Meach, she wants to get forward. You know, so things like that. So,
and I think a lot of that's to do with a lot of the jockeys. They must just do little different things in the gates, and some of them can get them out quicker than others, and the horses just start running quicker for others. I used to notice a lot in Sydney with Jimmy Cassidy, particularly when he wanted to. It was just, you know, straight on pace if he wanted to. You know?
Yeah.
And Black Shin's the same if they want to. Yeah. So it's
so no, they do that. But there's some jockeys who are they're better from midfield, and other jockeys are good from the front. And,
So I think I think the general theme of what we're discussing here is it's really good to keep it simple at the start. Find what your core base is. You've noticed around us, for you originally it was the videos. Yep. And for me it was just pricing the race, you know what I mean? Then working from there and letting the prices tell me when I couldn't bet. But on top of that, I've built things like speed maps and knowing the stables better and understanding sectional times better and whether to use par times or whether to use my ratings. And you've, like you're just talking about, you identifying which of the talented horses you want to back is the start, but then you're building the speed map on top of it until you helps you get rid of some that you don't really want to be involved in.
Makes you more confident. A prime example, I mean, it didn't work out that way, but a prime example was on Saturday at Geelong, and there was a good maiden on, right? At Sunquest, the Steve Richards horse, at Spring Choice, Corson's horse is a really nice horse, and Exaltaro had the Leicester form. So this was, you know, basically coming, there's three horses, not much between them talent-wise, they're all going to be midweek winners at some stage. So it was coming down to the map. And Jamie Mott was always going to put his sort of in behind. He prefers to take a sit, so he was going to be in behind the speed.
I mean, if you find one that you like, and on a Saturday meeting at Geelong and Jamie Mott's riding, anyway.
But anyway, so Spring Choice was the one drawn to be in the hold the aces. Yeah. Sunquest had barrier 10 of 28 days pulling up lame at Flemington with D Holland. So nothing against Dean, he's just making a comeback from an injury, but Jay Winks was on one and Jay Mott was on the other. So straight away, when I did that map, this is going to be back here, these two are going to be up here. So I sort of I priced it really harshly, and it's run really, really well. Yeah. But
in the end, that's the difference.
To get the other two short, to have a bet, back them both, to get rid of it, sort of thing, and that was the difference.
That's one of the keys. You have to find ways to get the horses you want to back short enough. Yeah. Because if there's reasons you like them, other people in the market are going to find them as well. Yeah,
that's right. Exactly right. Yeah, you're not finding them by yourself. Yeah. There was no spoil with the winner Spring Choice. You know, just people looked at the race. It was people were going to see the same thing, but it's just get it short enough to be able to back them. Yeah. You know.
Well, I watched the replay this morning and did the numbers. It was a good, tough winner. I think that's a pretty solid maiden. I think, as you say, that we City form out of that. That maiden.
Yeah. So that's just an example of that. What we talk about. Yeah. The map, also with similar ability, where the map is the important key to the puzzle.
Yeah. So just to talk the punters through how, like, you and I have completely different approaches, but we end up finding the same things eventually, and our paths cross at different times. I thought we could just talk about one horse, DK, that can highlight it a bit. Is High Sierra. So I didn't know anything about that horse.
Yep.
Okay. I'm watching the replays. One that was either Kilmore or Kyneton. I think it was Kilmore, was it? Kilmore. And it wasn't a particularly fast race. It was just a fair sort of
a lot of Kilmore races. Most Kilmore races are.
Yep.
It's not a high rating track or anything generally.
And you know, I think they run downhill there before the turn, don't they? It's a bit of a quirky track.
Quirky track, downhill and uphill.
Well, once that horse balanced up in the straight, it really ran through the line powerfully. Right?
Yeah.
So I didn't know anything about the horse. I didn't know anything about the winner of the race. I'm just rating it, trying to get a feel for the race. And I just make a note in my database that this horse has really run through the line powerfully. So just see where it turns up next start. So you interrupt me whenever you think
you're right.
you want to add something on. So it come up in my database the next start at Ararat.
Correct.
Geez, wrong track for you. Like, you could still win, but I don't really want to get excited. So I didn't bother even doing the race. I just watched it, and the stablemate won it actually.
Buckets
on it. Right, beautiful. Yeah. And it was a good solid race.
Good solid race, and he hit the line again, but just from impossible position.
Yeah, so High Sierra it hit the line really well again. I thought you just need to get to the right track. So then next start it turns up at Terang.
A nice big roomy track.
And the problem for me is I look at the race and go, so I just quickly rated it. I thought, well, I can probably, without any trouble, mark you in the $3 to $3.50 range. And I'm hoping they might put up $4 plus. It was a fairly small field though.
Yeah, it was
so there was a weird runner that was probably going to be favourite.
Yeah.
And there was Pat Carey had one that had
no, Snowden's, North Africa.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
just those colours.
I backed it.
Everyone says those colours. I think it's Pat Carey. And it's not.
He's sacked Pat Carey.
Yeah.
Well, I think he's got, anyway, Trevor Delroy. But,
yes, sir. So because it was the Snowden, I thought, well, maybe they'll mark them really short, and they might leave High Sierra out. But as it turned out, they didn't. They put her up $3 or $3.20 or whatever. And I just went, oh, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not going to have a bet. And I remember talking to you the day of the race. I thought, should I ask you about it? But I thought, if you're already involved in it, I don't want. I don't know the other two horses really very well.
Yeah.
And I know you'll know all the horses really well, and I don't want to colour your view at all because I could be so far off the mark.
Yeah,
so.
well, I had not much between the three of them, so they put up $7 like North Africa or something. So I went for it, sort of thing. And of course, High Sierra was there to beat it on the line and got easy enough late, but I probably should have saved on it because I got out to $4 or something.
Yeah, jumped in there. If I'd have been in the off anyway, but you're repricing it. It's in that. I mean, it just sort of run to its SP anyway, hasn't it? Really, it sort of was travelling well, but then it eventually got out, and only just.
No, I haven't seen the replay from Friday night. How's it gone there?
Well, the overall time. So the punters don't know. So then that horse comes to town as a young horse. It's shown that I've picked up in the videos. It's been on DK's run. Finally gets its maiden out of the way. She's a mare, isn't she?
Yep.
So mares off their maiden, they always improve. I didn't do the race on Friday night. I ran at a time, but gee, she would have been a nice bet in that race. I'm surprised she went around and she's improved dramatically.
Has she? Right.
So the overall time is it's within 2 or 3 lengths of Cliff's Edge.
Yep.
But Daddy. Cliff's Edge has run.
Back over in a minute, mate.
Look, I got a white launcher.
Cool.
Cliff's Edge run much better last 600, right? So that separates them.
Yeah.
But she's well into the. Sorry, I'll just speak mine and DK's language a bit. She's well into the 90s.
Yeah.
You know, well and truly. So.
Yeah, full run. But then just on that stable, I mean, he's a good trainer, but they're that sort of stable where they are. They're early in their careers. I used to do my money back in these horses early in their when they appear at the races, run that first start and everything. Because they're there for good. He wants them to have good experiences.
Yeah.
You know, if they're good enough to win, like guess again was at Kyneton and things like that, well, they can, but they're there for good experiences for their first couple of runs.
Yeah.
And they're there to hit their straps 3rd and 4th up, which is exactly what she's done, you know.
Yeah.
But she had those really good pace. She's gone probably better than what they thought.
Yeah.
So I think she was big odds on debut or whatever. So, but he says that Luke Oliver, good trainer, but again, you know, 3rd and 4th, 5th up. That's trying to get good long preps out of his horses.
Yeah. So part of the reason why I'm mentioning that is that, like, even though the horse was on my radar, goes to the Terang, which was the right track, I could have bet, but I mean, that's part of the discipline of it because I feel like in those circumstances, if I'm getting involved in that race against DK, he's got a much better knowledge of those horses and has an edge over me. In that situation, the computer teams have an edge over me because I don't bet at Terang very much. It was race 1. So I think you got to be able to pick your mark, and if they win, you just cop a tweet. It doesn't matter.
Well, that's the thing, because you don't want to sort of miss them. So I mean, the beauty of that for her is you get she comes to town to your venue.
Yeah.
So look, if she wins a major in the Terang, okay, but she'll come onto my radar at Sandown or somewhere in Moonee Valley soon.
Yeah.
And be 6 to 1, 8 to 1,
Yeah.
like she was. So that's what I think. Sometimes when they're morals in the bush, I'm going to they're too short for me to be on, but then they turn up in town and you're saying it's $4 or $5, and you're saying I'm keen on this. Or Trevor or Justin or whoever, they're all saying, Liz was good, this can win the midweek, so then I might have something on it there at the bigger odds, you know, so I still get something out of it.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I mean, you know, it's slightly different, but Leicester's in that category, you know what I mean? Like, you finally found his right race, you found him, and you know, there it is. So,
there it is. But have you been 2 evens at Terang or similar? Yeah.
Well, that was a good chat about all that. So, the other thing I just wanted to mention, another email from Brian. Brian emails me every week. He puts a lot of effort into it. He's actually, I think he's from Tasmania, and comes over a lot for the races on the weekend, and always sends a really great email through. And he just mentioned a couple of young jockeys that he's noticed they've been improving. And the first one he mentioned was Fred Kersley. He really liked his ride on Inwood at Ballarat last week. But so when he first got his DK, I thought he was a bit. He wasn't sure. Just like he obviously young and to find his feet, but I think he has got a lot to offer. Seems to be.
I mean, you'd see more of him than me. It's like Steph Thornton. She's not doing a lot of riding at my venues now. They've sort of moved into your areas, but from what I saw him at Hayes, you know, they're always going to get the good opportunities through Hayes, and Hayes likes him. And he had a setback, so he's probably and then he's bounced pretty much straight back. So that's a good sign.
It is, yeah.
He's straight back into his. He's got good hands, good talent.
B. Thompson, he was really impressed with him managing to get no commitment home on Saturday.
Oh yeah, what about that?
Yeah,
that was great. I saw the photo finish, and he just had it.
I mean, he's dead set stole that race.
Yeah, stole it. Yeah.
And he rides a bit at some of your, like, you'd be happy if you saw him turn up at Echuca or something. You'd be
happy.
Delighted.
And his stats seemed to flatline there for a bit when the others sort of B. Allen and the others and kicked on a bit. But he's you see again through that first light racing, you see their post race. He speaks so well. So the owners really like him, and he's a talented rider. And if he's on one that I like, he's done his homework. And I'll give you one. I reckon. I mean, I've been watching him. I know he's been floating around just building his resume, but employ.
Yep, absolutely.
He's going to make it. He's going to make it
for sure. A lot of good decisions in races.
Yeah.
Gutsy ones too, which I love to see.
Does his form. Yeah. He won on that Infinel the other day sale, and I had it marked down. There's 700 days off or something it had, and then it went to Benalla and won and pulled out the best last 200 of the day with bandages and all this stuff. And then what's happened here? Because it stood out 25 to 1 or something. What's happened here? And he knew. He said he got off the other sale. He said, that horse I just won on, he ran the best of the last 200. So he said, if I knew I was in striking distance today, it's going to be hard to run down. But I want to back a kid who knows. He knows what's going. He's going home and looking at all the stuff and doing his work.
Well, I remember when Regan Bayless first came to Melbourne. I was pretty sure he was with Peter Moody, and every time you heard him interviewed, you could just tell that he put in a heap of work. I thought this kid's going to make it for sure.
I like backing him.
Yeah.
He's such a good. He's still riding a lot in the country, and he's doing a lot of work yards. So there's all the good jockeys to back. And
the other one Brian mentioned, of course, is Ethan Brown. Ethan's a really good young jockey. You know, he'll continue to improve. Keen viewers of the show going back quite a while ago will remember that I said before the season started that it was worth having a ticket on him in the Premiership.
Oh yeah,
I know that me, Rexy and Juppy had something on him, and he's there in the top 5. And as soon as all the top jockeys go follow the carnival, and his 2 kilo claim is useful, he'll start to chip away at it. Like he's not hopeless. He's got a chance, you know.
And the beauty of these carnival times, he turned up at Edenhope last week. There it is straight away. Plus him and Meach. That's straight away. They're nice, aggressive riders. You know, I think they rode a double each or something. You know, but there's good starting points.
Absolutely.
Jay Mott was straight from the winning the group race on Friday night to Geelong on Saturday. You know, it's like we get it. It's good being able to back these good jocks, I tell you.
Absolutely.
They don't make many blues.
I think we've covered it all, DK. I think that's a bit of good fodder for our viewers. I really appreciate you coming on again, mate. And,
it's good, mate. Good to have a chat. And
these, let's hope they extend the race-free Mondays to 52 weeks a year.
Yeah, that's right. That would be the go for sure.
All right, mate. Good on you.
Pots. Good to see you.